Welcome to lesson 37 of A Course in Miracles. My holiness blesses my world. My holiness blesses my world. This is such a beautiful lesson, and this lesson, like all the other previous lessons, requires our full honesty. Because in one of the in lesson, I think it was 35, when we were asked to say that we were, so I am very holy in lesson 35, and then in lesson 36, my holiness envelops everything I see. And now not only my holiness, envelops or holds or carries or embraces everything I see, but now is that the course is asking us to contemplate the idea that also my holiness blesses my world. And the first thing that we need to look at is, what is my holiness? And what does it mean when it says my holiness? And where do I find my holiness? And this is, as I said, this is a really, going inwards within ourselves to connect to that silence, to connect to that emptiness. And does this look like my holiness? You know what I mean? Is this what the Course talks about in regards to my holiness? Will this be it? This place where there is space and there's nothingness, but it seems like there's everything, because I feel really wholesome. So this is something that you need to look at. You need to explore. What is your holiness? Where do you find it? How does it show up for you? Where is it? And this is the self-discovery, because I can express what looks like my holiness for me until now, but maybe tomorrow might be a bit different. But at the moment, until now, it just feels like what I was sharing, the silence, the space. It just feels like it opens up a universe almost. But this is something that you need to discover. What is holiness for you? How does it show up for you? And the other thing we need to look at is bless. How does my holiness blesses my world? And here we need to look at, because we live in a world of duality, we need to look at the opposite. And I'm just going to look at what the opposite of blessing my world will be for me. And it will be like judging my world, criticizing my world, being angry, being sad, maintaining myself to blame or guilty, or maintaining someone else, being tense, and nothing flows within my body because I'm so tense, that I can't even move. That looks to me like the opposite to blessing, the opposite to holiness. So if that is the opposite, what does blessing means? You know what I mean? And if it comes from this space of wholesome, so I'm feeling wholesome, and there's nothing that really can affect me at the moment, because there's no triggers, there's no thoughts, there's no emotions. I'm just feeling wholesome. And if I come with this whole sense of wholeness or holiness to you, and I connect to you, then I embrace you with my holiness, and this will be blesses, because there's no judgment, there's nothing that I need to do or say. It's just a sense of beingness, a sense of presence, And this sense of presence and beingness embraces, everything. So these lessons are, at least for me, are really important to download them, to ground them into my present, into my relationships, because I find, at least myself, that my relationships are my biggest blessing, but also my biggest challenges. And can I be present and bless, this specific relationship just by my presence, without no judgment, without no interference, just by being. And this is the practice, isn't it? But also the practice, as always, asks us to have some long periods where we can, just take a few minutes for ourselves, 3, 4, 5 minutes, and just breathe and just repeat the lesson. And first ask us to have our eyes open, and just look at, my holiness blesses, this glass of water. But it's not that I'm doing any blessings on it. It's just that I am recognizing this glass of water as a part of me. So by doing that, I am blessing it. So this is the type of blessing that we're talking about. It's not that I'm going to put any blessings on it, like commonly we do, but just by my presence and by acknowledging and connecting to it and seeing that it is part of me, because this is what we've been learning through the lessons. It is in my mind, then I bless it because I recognize it as a part of me. And this is the idea of this lesson as I look at it. And the same thing as my holiness blesses this pen. So we might go a few minutes just around the room, just connecting to the objects, that you see, and just feeling that there's not really a distance between this and yourself, and that your presence embraces everything, because your presence includes everything. And then we just close our eyes for a few moments, and we just say, my holiness blesses, and then we choose a person. Obviously, first go with people that you feel that more connected to, so there's no challenges. So you might be one of your children, or it might be an elderly, or it might be, if you can't find anything that you can connect to, because there's so many veils with each of the people that you connect with. You might connect to a pet or to nature, but if you can, just try a person and just see, my holiness blesses. I just put the name of the person and just see how it feels, whether there's peace or whether there's triggers, whether there's peace or whether there's movements, whether there's peace or whether there's judgment. Just be very diligent when you're looking at this, so then you can really notice what's going on with you, because this is, as I said, this is not, the idea is not, well, oh my God, lesson 35 or tells me that I'm holy, so okay, I'm holy. Yeah, I'm holy. Yeah, I am holy. No, this is not about that. Or yeah, the lesson 37 says that I bless my world, so I'm gonna send blessings to everybody. No, this is not about that. This is about true honesty and going really deep down within yourself as much as you can at the moment, and recognize all those blocks that stop you from feeling more holy. Holy meaning feeling more present. Present meaning feeling more at peace and at ease. That there is not emotional movement, or there's not mental movement, there's just space. And see how you go. So just practice lesson 37 and see how you go. As I said, enjoy it. That's the main part of it, enjoying. and notice any challenges. If you feel that it's very tricky, these lessons, just have a break and just see if you can come back to yourself, to your normal daily self, and go on maybe the next day. So I'll see you tomorrow for lesson 38.